Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Now, we just finished Luigi Mansion 3, so, after every Luigi's Mansion, I tend to do a little tier list. The last one, with Luigi Mansion 2, we didn't do a boss ghost, because there really weren't boss ghosts necessarily. I think I did Boo. I'm not entirely sure of that, but I'm pretty sure I did Boo's. I don't really remember, it was a long time ago. But Luigi's Mansion 3 has a bunch of boss ghosts that we can rank. So we're going to do that, we're going to do Boo names like we did last time, and then that'll officially end the series altogether. So these are all organized by, I think, floor, roughly. Polterkitty might not be, because Polterkitty is just kind of like multiple floors. Um, but we have S, A, B, C, and then F. Um, so the first ghost, and I have to actually have something open so I can see their names, because I don't remember their names. Okay, so the first ghost, Steward. He's the first ghost. He's just there to kind of like show you what boss are gonna be like. I feel like putting him in B is just like the pure average. Like it's just like he's not hard, he's not easy. He's just a tutorial ghost essentially. So I think just average B is pretty much where he's gonna go. Um, Next is, I'm gonna not pronounce this, Chambria. Chambria. I have no idea if I pronounce that right. It's kind of the same with it's kind of just like another tutorial ghost in a way. But I don't know. I would say maybe even one lower than tutorial ghost. It was kind of easier. Like from what I remember, it's just, I guess you learn the plunger thing and you use that, but yeah, I don't see it stronger than I feel it's weaker than the tutorial ghost for some reason. Okay, next up is Cooler. He was the mall cop ghost. Design wise, these two are just kind of also average. They're like the hotel maid and the hotel bellboy. So, design wise, I kind of like it. I think it's funny. It kind of just reminds me of like the stereotypical mall cop kind of look to him, like Paul Blart or something in that movie. Um, Boss wise, I'm trying to remember exactly. He's kind of difficult, but not all that difficult. Definitely more than like the bellboy. I kind of like design, which might push it up to A. And he's got his little squirt gun thing too. Is kind of funny. I think I'll give that to A. Next, Souffle. Chef Souffle. There really wasn't too much to him. It was mostly just kind of, if I remember, it was like the fog area. You put out the fire, and then he starts fighting. He's got a pan. Kind of the same with this. I would say maybe B, just above the bellboy. Um. All right. Next, Amadeus Wolfgeist. So he was the piano. He controlled the piano, which is actually kind of difficult. He kind of had like a big open space. Design wise, I mean, what he's after. Kind of a hard boss ghost. I'll give him A. I'll give him A above the mall cop. King McFrights. King McFrights. I don't know if I'm really gonna have many S tiers here. I'm just kind of looking, but King McFrights. Hmm, he was kind of difficult. You kind of had to, you rode the horse. The arrows were fine, but the arrows really didn't do. You could dodge them pretty. You could dodge everything pretty easily for the most part. I think that would give him B. He wasn't easy, but he wasn't all that difficult. Um, Dr. Potter, kind of easy. I think his level itself is more like difficult than him as a boss ghost itself. You kind of have to like run and go grab that like the saw, and if you put it far away from yourself, it kind of screws you over. But and I think his AI is kind of wonky too, because trying to get the plant to bite. So I think that kind of hurts him in a way. So I think I might put him C above, yeah, because I don't know. It just felt like every time you wanted the potted plant to bite, it just wouldn't. Um, okay, the next one is Director Morty and Ghostzilla, because they're technically it's the same boss, but like Director Morty is just filming you, and Ghostzilla is the real boss. I want to give this one S because I just really liked like the idea of it and like the little city you were in with Gooigi and Luigi, and you're fighting Ghostzilla, and it was kind of cool. But then like I think of it itself as like that floor doesn't really have like a necessary ghost it doesn't have like a special ghost boss. Like Director Morty, you can go and capture him, and he doesn't fight back or anything. He just goes in the vacuum, and you can leave. Um, and I'm just thinking to myself, does that bring it down to the point where I don't like it enough to not put it in S? I really like the fight. I like I like the cinematic kind of thing, and it's just all that. It's just kind of cool. I think because I'm not gonna have many S, I'm gonna give it S. It kind of sucks that you can't do anything with Director Morty. He's just like, oh no, okay, I'm gone. I think I'll give it S because the Godzilla fight I really like. I think that's a good fight. Um, let's see. Ugh. So Ugh is the dinosaur beginning, and then you fight him. The dinosaur is kind of a cool fight. Ugh's a little bit less cool, but and design, they're in the Natural History Museum. It really reminds you of like the Ninth Museum with like the T Rex and everything. I think I give him A because the dinosaur fight starts off really cool, and then his fight's a little less like cool than that, but still pretty good. I think his name is Clem. I'm guessing that's what it says. Clem, Clem. Uh, I don't know. It's got the water mechanics, and the moving around and like the floaties kind of annoying sometimes. Does that hurt him as a boss ghost a little bit because it's his like whole thing? Overall not horrible. I say B. I say B. Because it's not horrible, it's just not ideal. It's not an ideal ghost fight. Uh Serpsy is the ancient, like the pyramids, HB kind of vibe. Um Actually kind of difficult, kind of annoying to fight a little bit. So boss difficulty pretty high up there, which is nice. You kind of want, I like to have that little difficulty. I know it's like a Luigi's Mansion game, but it's nice to have that little struggle. Um, Design and everything's really cool. I think definite A. Okay, the magicians, Nikki, Lindsay, and Ginny. Um, ah, they're kind of average to me. Like their fight isn't necessarily all that difficult. If you don't pay attention, then it's not. But other than that, if you just kind of pay attention and everything, it's kind of average to me. I think definite B. I like the idea of like all the magic and stuff. It just it didn't feel like it got used much in the boss fight. Okay, now next one, Captain Fishhook. This is like my favorite. I would say probably my favorite boss next to Ghostzilla. I would say definite S. I like the take control of the ship. You have to blast the barrels into his mouth. You gotta dodge everything. You gotta hit a moving target while and then hang from the rope. I think his area was done really well. Johnny Deepend. I think this is actually my first F. He didn't have much HP. He wasn't that difficult to beat. It just if you mess up a few times, even then, it's still he's only got 60 HP. You just have to drain the pool and then catch him, and all you do is throw volleyballs at him. And the fact of the matter is that like he's also an end game. Like he's the 13th floor, I think. So he's like an end game boss that you just didn't really do much. Which also I kind of didn't like with Luigi's Mansion is like as you progress through the game, you're usually supposed to get harder. The bosses kind of got easier, which was kind of crappy in a way. Like the last two, and I guess I'll move into DJ Phantasmagloria. I think that's also F. I think I might raise it up to C, just because like the whole area was kind of cool. But like again, it's not that difficult of a boss. Pretty easy for the most part. The fact that you were on a stage, I think, might raise it up from F because, like, if you fell off, then you just had to walk all the way back around. But yeah, so like those two bosses were kind of like the worst ones for me, honestly, though. Uh, Helen Gravely. Her fight was kind of difficult. It was just a lot of dodging on Luigi's part, which was kind of nice. Like you had to use a lot of his. You basically had to use almost all of his abilities except for the was Spectre Light or whatever, the purple glowy one. Um, it was a nice fight. I think definite A. Um, or high B, A or high B. It kind of, it was nice to do some dodging and stuff, and it wasn't just like flash a light catch. So that was nice, I guess. Okay, so Polter Kitty. Polter Kitty is an annoyance more than a boss fight. Later on, it does become a little difficult, but it's an annoyance level. Like just having to go through every floor, follow it around. It's so annoying to me that it's just like that puts it like low B. The difficulty does ramp up the second time you fight Polterkitty, which is kind of nice. So maybe high B for Polterkitty, but the annoyance level for like going through 3 floors, walking around finding it, I just don't like it. I just don't. It's too much. And then obviously the last boss ghost, King Boo. I mean, the whole franchise of Luigi's Mansion is built on fighting King Boo. Um, so I think that just and actually this one was really difficult. Like this one was probably the hardest one out of all of them. This one was a really difficult fight. Like I think I died twice, and it was nice. I think locking on was kind of my controller's problem. I do have a little bit of stick drift with it, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, I think the King Boo fight in this one was probably the best out of the three, and it was really difficult too, which was nice. Um, so wait, I'm gonna kind of organize these by row a little bit. I really like the fish hook. The fish hook was definitely like my favorite. I just really like the level. King Boo above Ghostzilla and then Ghostzilla. Those are my three definite S tiers. Um, let's see. A's row, Spectre down. You can stay. I like you more. I think. Ugg is like middle ground. I would say that's probably pretty good. Maybe. I like this guy. He's definitely close to S tier because he's funny. I think that's good. Polterkitty definitely is probably the top of B. And he's definitely bottom of B as the tutorial goes. That's fine where it is. I think this row actually might be okay. These are like the average ghosts. Like they're not hard to beat, but they're like these two are kind of like they're kind of hard to beat. So maybe go up into A, but not that difficult. The rest are kind of like eh. This is like annoyance more, and then also not a hard fight. So he's kind of low in B because he's an annoyance and not very hard. C C kind of just sucks for Dr. Potter. It just kind of sucks for him because like he's in C only because of like the way. So if you like if you put the saw really far away, it's just annoying. The AI for like the plant's kind of annoying. At least when I did it, maybe there's ways to get it to not be as annoying. Um, Chimbria, is just it's a tutorial boss again. Like the first two bosses are basically both tutorial bosses. She's kind of worse than the bellboy, I guess. Maybe because you have to walk around rooms. Like I don't think you had to walk around rooms with the bellboy, but you had to walk around to like 3 rooms to catch her, and that's kind of like the same Polter Kitty effect. So the fact that it's a tutorial boss in a way, and you had to walk around rooms, eh. And then DJ Phantasmagoria, Gloria, again, it's just like the end game, super easy, like not that difficult, and that's where I kind of like, bottom of C. I think the ranking for these three are probably pretty good. And then again, Johnny Deep End just kind of suffers from it's you're on like the last few floors. He only has 60 HP. He just wasn't a hard boss like whatsoever. Nothing. Just fired volleyball at him, run around with Luigi, do that, go behind a pillar, fire another volleyball, do that, and then he goes. Then he dropped the water. It's just there's nothing hard about it. I would say there's nothing difficult to do in that fight, which is the unfortunate part because he's such an end game. He's such a later game boss, but there's just nothing to do. Um, but I think that is my ranking, though. I think that's pretty good. Let me know what you guys think of my ranking. Um, but the next video, which will probably get uploaded probably like a little bit after this one, um, it'll be the Boo names, and then that'll completely take care of Luigi's Mansion 3 series, and that'll be it. So I want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you all on the next episode. Bye bye, everyone.